fuck are you doing?
Peace, my friends. Welcome. My name is Anton Jackson, and I am excited to be here today to give you my top 10 favorite movies of the year. Let me tell you what.
Be quiet, Anton.
What? These movies were fantastic. What are you talking about?
Were they phenomenal?
Oh, they were phenomenal. They were awesome. Oh my god, I cannot wait to express to you guys exactly what I thought of these movies. It's gonna be a great list and all of you are gonna enjoy it. No.
Aww.
So, enjoy.
Number 10.
Alright, so, you wanna know what my number 10 is? I'll give you a clue. It's a family member, but number 10 was something that everybody left the theater except me, I'll tell you what. I was in a theater with like 100 people, but all of them left because after the last 20 minutes, everyone was like, why are you leaving? And they said, this is too graphic, it's too bad. And I was like, yeah, but I paid $10 to see it. I might as well stay. Number 10 is Mother. I mean, what can you say for a Darren Aronofsky movie? That was a little bit too much.
Am I the only one that actually liked it?
Yeah.
I'm all for the metaphors. I'm all for doing something different with your stuff. The problem was, it didn't translate very well to a major audience. Now, if you were to take that and put it into a film school, that'd be fine. But for this, I'm just saying, when 100 people leave the theater and you're the last one there, something's wrong.
Number 9.
You want to fight me? You want to go? You want to go? I took boxing. I know how to box. Okay? I took boxing because after I saw Fist Fight, I needed a box. I needed a box because here's what happened. I went to go see it and I wanted to punch Ice Cube in the face. So what I wanted to do was I went to a boxing coach and he's like, Ice Cube will kick your ass. So I was like, okay, fine. Let's do boxing then so that when I fly to LA and I go to him and I say, here's a real fist fight, he was like, chill. Have some weed. And then we smoked weed together and then we had a fantastic time after that. But, I mean, what can I say? And I forgot all about the movie ever since. I don't know why I put it on there, but probably because Ice Cube. Trying to act.
Number 8.
Now it's time to do a little poetic justice. You know, all of this talk about how we need to have higher standards for how superhero movies need to be because of everything that came in the past. Well, it kind of translated with this. It's Justice League. I mean, what can I say? I mean, the one thing I did like was they made Superman into God mode, which he practically is. But when Wonder Woman came out a couple of months before, the bar was raised for DCU films. It's kind of tough to beat that. I mean, you got to introduce Aquaman, Cyborg, The Flash. But other than that, it's just the introduction leading up to it. They're going in a different direction. I will say this, though. The Legion of Doom is coming. 3 more years until that happens. I mean, action-wise, it could have been a lot better. I mean, Steppenwolf was not the greatest villain to be put in there.
Oh, he is awful.
He was not the greatest villain to introduce Justice League, but I guess they're building up to Legion of Doom, which they're going to. So, at least I can tolerate it. But Justice League kind of missed the mark, but hey, at least my dad liked it.
Number 7.
So what happens when you take some shit, you wrap it really nicely, and then you present it to somebody? You get the Emoji Movie. Because at least the filmmakers knew they were making shit, but at least that they presented it properly. They tried. I mean, they even said it in their Academy interview, because you gotta remember, the Academy screened the Emoji Movie in front of all of their Academy members.
I feel bad for those guys.
And they interviewed them. It's like, what happened? However,
Kind of.
regardless, it was applying to people that use emojis, like me. But I wasn't a fan of it. For all the younger generation, it appealed to them. And for what my nieces and nephew told me, they really enjoyed it. Because then it applies to them and not to us. We're old farts.
Not really.
And that's that.
Number 6.
God, it's so... Need to dim the lights. It's so bright in here. Oh, speaking of bright.
Ooh, really?
I mean, I will agree with the critics on this one. It was not good at all. The highest budgeted Netflix film ever made, and it amounted to nothing, to be quite honest with you.
It was a mixed bag.
Yeah, there was a lot of story and character issues. Plus, some of the dialogue was absolutely terrible.
We are the cavalry.
Yeah, there was some bad dialogue in that.
That's the line for the movie.
Yeah, there was so much bad dialogue in that. I mean, if I was a screenwriter, I would be like, put that back. Yeah, oh, God. I mean, I'll agree with the critics on this one. And I'll agree with the critics on Last Jedi. Sorry, guys. I'm on their side.
Number 5.
Alright, I didn't want to see this one, but it looked good visually. So I thought, hey, you know what? This might get a visual effects nomination for what it is. Number 5 is Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets.
I thought you were going to say Ghost in the Shell for a moment.
No. Obviously based on a comic book, and I actually had a friend that read the comics and wanted to go see it. The problem was the chemistry between the two main characters was very off. I mean, they didn't even feel like they were in love with each other. That's the problem. And it's the same girl that was the main villain in Suicide Squad. When Rihanna is the best character in the movie, that's saying something. Everything else, I mean, it should have just been Rihanna the movie, but instead they had to put another story behind it. And God, it was the story, there was no story.
Yeah, what story?
The predictability of it, plus they stole the line from Taken. It was like blatantly clear.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I'll find you and I'll kill you, good luck. They just completely stole that.
And what characters?
No characters. It was just a whole blend of nothing with just visuals all around it to make up for it. Which the visuals, I will say, were fantastic, but nobody's going to remember it for what the visuals are. That's the problem.
Number 4.
Now, you know, Austin, how I don't like Kingsman. So that's going to be number 4. Action was a lot better, but for the Kingsman movies, I'll just say right now, Kingsman is suffering from storytelling. Great storytelling is not in Kingsman. It's all there for the action and, you know, characters. It's missing the key ingredient. You know how you always put spices in your steak to try to make, just to get that little taste in there? There was no spice in there. It was just like, here's a bland steak of characters. Eat it. Yeah. Here's a story with bland characters. Or here's a story with a bland writing. Eat it. Yeah. Here's action. Here's the hot sauce, which is all the action. That's what it felt like. It felt like a steak full of just hot sauce, and they didn't put anything else on it.
Eat it, yeah.
Eat it, yeah.
Number 3.
Now, I don't know why we keep seeing this franchise, but I think it's just we had so much respect for the first movie that we have to see the remaining 4. It's Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tell No Tales.
I never did say Transformers.
I didn't see Transformers. Good. The Bros and I saw it, and I'm not including Austin and the Bros.
Joke!
I mean, well, yes, it was enjoyable, but not as great as everything else I saw.
That doesn't mean it's bad.
Well, I mean, the storytelling was shit. The two kids were basically Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley light. It's like having a Bud Light that's completely shitty beer. And Jack Sparrow is just a drunk now. I mean, we've seen this character for 5 movies now. There's really nothing else that we can offer him. We gave you an Academy Award nomination for the first film. It's kind of hard to do it for the next 4 films, but I will say I am looking forward to 6 after that post-credit sequence. Because it pretty much was like a reboot of the entire franchise, pretty much, after the 5th one ended. So, at least we got 6 to look forward to.
Number 2.
Okay, I was really looking forward to this entire universe. I want to see where this goes, because I love the old monster movies. I've been watching monster movies for a long time. My dad is a monster movie guy. So when I found out that they were going to do an entire universe based around these characters, I was like, yes. But that they had to start with the Mummy? Did they have to start with the Mummy? I mean, they could have done Jekyll and Hyde. Russell Crowe as Jekyll, I can't,
really?
that was a good choice. Yeah. But the Mummy itself is... it's Tom Cruise. I mean, that was probably the saving grace, but it didn't do well. Nobody cared for the movie. Again, the storytelling was not good. There was so many things that I can just go into, like plot hole wise, that I can just go into, but that would take That would take an entire Legends of the Internet episode to do that. The problem was the fact that they market this as an entire universe, and then you don't start big. You start really bad, and now it's in jeopardy now.
It's number 1.
This was on my most anticipated list for this year. I was so looking forward to this. I thought it was going to be just like Straight Outta Compton. But from all of the things that were going on behind the scenes, and then after finally seeing it, I'm not surprised. The Tupac movie.
Oh.
I love Tupac. I love Tupac. I loved his All Eyes on Me album. I can listen to that album. In fact, I'll probably listen to it after I'm driving home from this. They got Tupac story. Just like, I know the guy looks exactly like Tupac, but that doesn't mean he can play Tupac. They basically told him, okay, just watch footage of Tupac and then just try to emulate that. That's how bad the guy that played Demetrius that played Tupac was. The guy looks like him, and everyone thought, that's really Tupac. But no, it was just some guy trying to pretend he was. There was like no emotion out of him, and he had the movements. It was like one giant music video. That's what it felt like. But then again, that's what you get when you have a director that's a music video guy. But there was just no spice to it. It was just like, okay, here's the bland steak. We're not going to put anything on it. And here you go. All right, I'll be back tomorrow with the list that I really enjoy. And I'll probably going to spruce things up a little bit, change my look. You'll probably like it. But until then, check out Shane's video. And enjoy your new year. I'll tell you what. Come on,